and gentlemen, it is Wednesday, the 3rd day of January. The year is 2018, and if you can hear the sound of my voice, you are the revolution. I am Revolutionary Warrior number 1, General of the Save the World Army, Smokin Joe Mekhael, and I would like to welcome you to day 479 of Operation Save the World. We are live from beautiful Sydney, Australia, and this is the Save the World live daily news, smashing through the lies of the Illuminati, smashing through the lies of the New World Order, and smashing through the lies of the government who are escalating their attacks against humanity every single day. But even though they are escalating their attacks against us, my brothers and sisters, don't you dare be sour. Join the Save the World Army and feel the power. Save the World Army and feel. Yes, 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 I have the power. You have the power. We have the power. Humanity has the power, and we have to use that power, the power of love, to beat the Illuminati, to break the New World Order, to bring down the world government, and to save the world from evil. Because we know that the only way for humanity to be free is for us to bring down the government that is enslaving us. Thank you all so much for joining me on this beautiful January afternoon. And Hollandopoulos, it's really great to see you here. Revolutionary Warrior 518. You're asking, why am I on YouTube? I was streaming a second live broadcast on Facebook last night after midnight, and then my Facebook just shut down. It logged me out, and it said, you posted against our content, whatever. You posted against the guidelines. We're banning you from posting or doing anything, even messaging, for the next 24 hours. Still about 12 hours to go in that ban. And Sleepy McCush, Revolutionary Sergeant 296, leading Zulu Squad out of Ocala, Florida, USA. Brother, once again, I'm banned from Facebook for about 12 hours. Please, Hollandopoulos and Sleepy, go on the group chat. And yeah, I already saw that you did. Thank you very much. You're one step ahead of me, Hollandopoulos. Thank you for posting in the group chat that I am live now. Like I said many times, they're doing their best to shut down all forms of communication. They're doing their best to shut down dissent. They're doing their best to shut down the people who are fighting against this evil system, and we have to expand our communications. That's what I'm doing right here, right now, and thank you for sharing, Hollandopoulos. I really appreciate that. Let's get right into the news today. From lifesitenews.com. And I'll post the link to this article in the comments section. And thank you all for sharing this video however you can, whether it be on Facebook or whatever. I'm doing my best to continue the fight, and we will continue the fight no matter what happens. From lifesitenews.com. The LGBT fraud has been exposed, and they're definitely not happy about it. This is back on November 15, 2016. By the Real Women of Canada staff. Where are the real men? Where are the real women who will stand up against this transgender bender agenda where they want to teach your 4-year-old child that it's cool to chop their genitals off and become transgender? It's so trendy. Of course, they seek to destroy masculinity. They seek to destroy femininity. They seek to destroy humanity. We must expose their evil agenda for what it is. Those who are setting our so-called values, such as the small but powerful group of academics, mainstream media, and homosexual activists do so by attempting to impose strange myths and ideas that have no scientific basis. These myths include the one that homosexuals are born that way, and you've got Lady Gaga chiming in, "Oh, I was born this way." When, of course, everybody makes a choice. Everybody has a choice about everything in life. And Sleepy says, maybe there won't be trolls over here a lot. I shared to a few places. Thank you very much. And please let everyone know that we are live right now. Hollandopoulos said, hopefully there won't be as many interruptions. We'll see how we go. But we are smashing through the lies every single day. Furthermore, those claiming they are a different gender than that which they were born, i.e. the transgendered, who feel they belong to other than their gender at birth, must be accepted as such. The public is supposed to put aside its intelligence and common sense and respectfully bow collectively in obeisance to those expert opinions. These opinions, however, are complete and utter hogwash. We know instinctively that they are not authentic or worthy of our belief. However, the myth makers attempt to force their nonsense on us by the heavy hand of the law, claiming that it's discrimination to refuse to accept the myths as truth. Jurisdictions which don't obey their rulings are economically punished. Parents are forbidden to protect their children from the monstrous bathroom laws that permit males to use girls' showers, lockers, and change rooms. It's all a fraud based on propaganda with no scientific legitimacy. Bombshells explode the myths. However, 2 bombshells have exploded that shatter these myths, and the opinion makers haven't yet controlled its fallout. The first bombshell was a landmark study published in The Journal, The New Atlantis, August 23, 2016. The Journal is a well-known journal of science, technology, and ethics based in Washington, D.C. This article analyzed the scientific evidence of LGBT issues published to date in scientific journals. The report was authored by 2 eminent scholars, Dr. Lawrence Mayer, a professor of psychiatry and statistics and biostatistics at Arizona State University, stated in the preface to the study that he had testified in dozens of federal and state legal proceedings strongly supporting equality and opposing discrimination for the LGBT community. However, Dr. Mayer stated he supports every sentence in this report without reservation since it is about science and medicine. He also stated he was alarmed to learn during his review of over 500 scientific articles that the LGBT community bears a disproportionate rate of mental health problems compared with the population as a whole. The other author is Dr. Paul Mekhael, one of the leading psychiatrists in the world. He was psychiatrist-in-chief at the Johns Hopkins Hospital in Baltimore from 1975 to 2001. These scientists reviewed hundreds of peer-reviewed studies on sexual orientation and gender identity from the biological, psychological, and social sciences. Their conclusions were as follows, and I'll go back to your comments momentarily. Sin City Jason, revolutionary Sergeant 40, leading Sin City Squad out of Las Vegas, Nevada, USA. Much love to you, Sin City Jason. And thing is, I can read your comments in the Save the World Army group chat, but once again, I'm banned from messaging or commenting or posting anything for another 12 hours or so. And they said, your live video has been deleted. If you post any more of this content, we may remove the Save the World Army page, so we have to be prepared for that. And thank you, Hollandopoulos and Sin City Jason, for sharing. The record for our YouTube live stream so far is 6 viewers. And I'll tell you what, we have hundreds usually on the Facebook feed, but we're smashing through the censorship. And I've said for so long, they can turn off our Facebook, they can turn off the electricity, they can turn off the internet with the flip of a switch. So we have to be prepared for this crackdown because they're bringing the hammer down against us. All right, their conclusions were as follows. The belief that sexual orientation is an innate, biologically fixed human property, that people are born that way, is not supported by scientific evidence. The belief that gender identity is an innate, fixed human property, independent of biological sex, so that a person might be a man trapped in a woman's body or a woman trapped in a man's body, is not supported by scientific evidence. Only a minority of children who express gender atypical thoughts or behavior will continue to do so into adolescence or adulthood. There is no evidence that all such children should be encouraged to become transgender, much less subjected to hormone treatments or surgery. Non-heterosexual and transgender people have higher rates of mental health problems, anxiety, depression, suicide, as well as behavioral and social problems like substance abuse, intimate partner violence, than the general population. Discrimination alone does not account for the entire disparity. And Sleepy McCush said, that's why I have a bunch of accounts on multiple platforms in case they try to shut me down. Lol. And I appreciate your preparation, Sergeant Sleepy McCush. And if someone could share to the Save the World Army groups, that would be fantastic right now. Hopefully we can get a few more of the warriors over here. Continuing. The second bombshell was exploded by a top researcher for the American Psychological Association, or APA, lesbian activist, Dr. Lisa Diamond, co-author-in-chief of the APA Handbook of Sexuality and Psychology and one of the APA's most respected members. She admitted that sexual orientation was fluid and not unchangeable. By doing so, Dr. Diamond confirmed that the myth that homosexuals can't change is now a dead-end theory. She summarized the relevant findings in a lecture at Cornell University, stating that abundant research has now established that sexual orientation, including attraction, behavior, and self-identity, is fluid for both adolescents and adults in both genders. Her announcement flies in the face of legislation in several US states and Ontario, Canada, which ban reparative therapy, which seeks to help patients experiencing same-sex attraction. It also destroys the argument by homosexual activists that sexual orientation is the civil rights movement of our times. This is poppycock. Sexual desire is based on something other than genetics, including primarily a person's relationships, culture, and other experiences, not genetics or prenatal hormones. The only thing that science actually tells us is that we are born either male or female. Errant, harmful ideologies and lies, especially those which diminish and endanger the lives of children, should be condemned without delay. Clearly, the laws on sexual orientation and the transgendered must be reassessed in light of the truth now being exposed. We can waste no more time on such inanities. The reaction of homosexual activists and the media. The mainstream media, of course, ignored these bombshells. The Homosexual Human Rights Campaign, or HRC, however, was not about to allow them to affect its continued existence and the estimated nearly $49 million it hauls in annually from contributions, which maintain its luxurious headquarters in Washington, D.C. More importantly, it was not about to relinquish the tremendous power and influence it holds over society, especially the lawmakers and the media. And I'll go back to your comments. and Sleepy McCush shared to a few more Save the World Army pages. I appreciate that. If people could share this live video link to a bunch of groups as well, that would be phenomenal. And I'm sure you guys know the link to this, but if you want it, it's in the comment section right there. Go ahead and share that to as many groups as you can. Thank you very much, Warriors. And we've hit a brand new record for our first ever YouTube live stream. 7 viewers. I love it. Welcome, and thank you all for all of your love and support. The HRC reacted as it usually does when its power base is threatened. It is to attack, attack, and attack. On this occasion, it went for the jugular of the New Atlantis Journal, which had defied it by exposing the true facts about homosexuality. The HRC published a criticism of the journal's research review, characterizing Doctors Mayer and Mekhael as anti-trans all-stars and anti-LGBTQ promoters seeking to marginalize and mock people. They accused the authors of intentionally misleading statements and biased perceptions. The editors of the New Atlantis Journal, however, were not about to put up with HRC's nonsense. The latter was only lies and distortions. In a special publication entitled Lies and Bullying from the Human Rights Campaign, it delineated how HRC how HRC had distorted the journal's recent publication on homosexuality, stating in the introduction, most of the HRC document is an exercise in distortion. It then tackled in detail these distortions. We can also be assured that HRC is scrambling behind the scenes to find suitable, ideologically correct researchers to commence a study, funded either by the HRC directly or, more probably, by one of the corporate mad dogs held in its kennel, to dispute the study in the New Atlantis Journal and APA. When this new study is released, probably within a year, it will be with great fanfare and extensive coverage in the media. It will be presented as the truth. It will, however, be a fraud and deceit based on flawed methodology. How can it be otherwise when its findings are predetermined? The purpose of the study will be for propaganda only, and it will be merely a feeble house of cards. It should be disregarded by those with any intelligence and common sense, with the knowledge that such a study is only an attempt by well-funded homosexual activists to continue their control over society. And we can see it very clearly from Canada to the United States to Australia to South America to Europe, all over the place. They're teaching these children at 4 years old to chop your genitals off, that it's so cool, that you're not really a boy, you're not really a girl, whatever you feel like. This is absolute mind control. This is social engineering at the bottom level. It is population reduction. They are engaged in operation depopulation. All they want is death and devastation. We must expose these demons. And Storm Rider, great to see you. Revolutionary Warrior 208 from Coffs Harbour, New South Wales, Australia. Awesome to see you, Storm Rider. And she says she received her tags today. That is wonderful to hear. And I know you're after some more tags as well for Revolutionary Warriors 381, 382, and 383, Beatniks, Cloud Rider, and Phoenix Warrior. I will get them to you as soon as I can. Storm Rider, much love to you. And let me move to our next article of the day. And thank you for sharing this video. Once again, I've been banned from posting or messaging on Facebook for 24 hours. That'll end at about 1 a.m. This evening or tomorrow morning. But I'm not going to let that stop me. They're doing their best to shut us down, but we are smashing through all of the censorship. And Storm Rider says, sweet, thanks Joe, my pleasure. Much love to you, Storm Rider. And here's our next article from countercurrentnews.info. Cannabis oil cures 80-year-old dentist of stage 4 metastatic lung cancer. November 26, 2017. Who do you believe? The trillion-dollar cancer industry, which claims that chemotherapy and radiation kill cancer cells, save lives, and boost long-term survival rates in terminally ill cancer patients? Or people who fight and survive cancer not because of chemotherapy-based cancer treatment, but because of cannabis oil-based therapy? Why should you believe? While chemotherapy stimulates healthy cells to produce a protein that supports tumor growth and makes the tumor cells resistant to further cancer treatment, the primary psychoactive component of cannabis, tetrahydrocannabinol, or THC, causes tumor cells to commit suicide while leaving healthy non-tumor cells unharmed. And Sleepy McCush said, link says page not found. Error 404. I was going to share it. Excuse me, very interesting. Really? Let me see what happens when I open this in a new window. 404, that's not good. It works in this window. But of course they are doing their best to block us any way that they can. Perhaps try sharing this link. youtube.com/c/the Save the World Army. That should take people directly to my YouTube page, and then they should see the video. Oh, what? That's crazy. Even when I type in my YouTube page, it says this page isn't available. Sorry about that. Try searching for something else. Why is this page not available? Of course, they're doing their best to block the truth. Really? Maybe it's because I typed it in capitals. Let me try without the capitals. youtube.com/c/the Save the World Army. So that link works. Alright, let me know if you guys can share this link. And Marissa, great to see you over here. Revolutionary, Sergeant 134, leading South Philly squad out of South Philadelphia, USA. She says, hey Warriors. Storm Rider says 404, error for me too. And she's talking about the Countercurrent news link. That's interesting as well. Well, here's the link to the... and she says the Save the World Army link is working for me, just not the other one. That is interesting. Regardless, I will continue to power through. The success story. In 1989, 55-year-old Stan Rutner, then retired dentist running a lucrative mini-storage business, was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin lymphoma. After 6 months of aggressive and toxic standardized allopathic treatment, Stan was cured. He heaved a sigh of relief since his cancer was in remission. However, he was fighting cancer again in 2011. This time he was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer with metastasis to the brain. And we hit another record here for our first ever YouTube live stream. 8 viewers. Thank you for sharing this video. After telling him that Stan was in deep crap, doctors began to treat him with chemotherapy and radiation, gave him just weeks to live, and ordered him to take refuge in a hospice, which he entered on August 12, 2011. Barb Rutner, Stan's wife, recalls, shortly after treatment began, Stan was riddled with weight loss and chronic nausea, debilitating fatigue, and was wasting away. After that, he was wiped out. He was very thin. So he finished radiation to his brain on June 25, and on July 13, he entered the hospital for the first time with radiation pneumonitis, which is inflammation of the lungs due to radiation therapy. There were 3 hospital visits during that time, and on the 3rd, they kept him for a week and started him on oxygen 24/7. Then he went into palliative care in an attempt to explore all treatments and all alternative treatments possible to delay Stan's somewhat inevitable death sentence. The Rutners tried Reiki energy treatments, acupuncture, and even creative visualization, yet nothing worked. That's when John Malanka, Stan and Barb's daughter, Corinne's soon-to-be husband, looked for cannabis as a possible treatment option to ease Stan's pain. Stan was dying and had nothing left to lose, so he was ready to give cannabis a go. Barb explains what treatment was meted out to Stan. And let me just go back to your comments momentarily. Sleepy McCush said, I just searched for oil cures 80-year-old dentist of stage 4 cancer on the Error 404 page and it popped up. Very interesting. Let me continue. Corinne and John were becoming interested in medicinal marijuana, but were concerned that Stan was wasting away. He had lost so much weight, and so we were anxious to get his appetite improved and help him with the nausea. So Corinne suggested daytime cannabis capsule infused with coconut oil. They're yellow capsules that he started taking. He started taking those in early November of 2011, and in the beginning, he took about 1/3 of a capsule in the morning, and it was about a week or 2 later that he was able to give up the extra oxygen that he had 24/7. In just a couple of weeks of starting cannabis, Stan witnessed an incredible turnaround. He gained weight, ditched his walker, dumped his 24/7 oxygen, began exercising, and started getting some sleep. Sound sleep, in fact. On January 27, 2013, Stan's brain MRI showed no evidence of recurrent disease. The stage 4 lung cancer, which had metastasized to his brain 2 years ago and almost taken his life, was gone. At 80, Stan's cancer is still in remission. And we know that cannabis cures cancer. We know that marijuana is the miracle medicine that manages a myriad of maladies. That's why they keep it illegal. And if they make it legal, they want to control it. They want to drip feed it to you. They want to tax, control, and regulate it. The government has no right to tax, control, or regulate cannabis. They have no right to tax, control, or regulate anyone or anything. Dave Mihailovic, a naturopathic doctor who specializes in vaccine research, cancer prevention, and a holistic approach to cancer treatment, notes, no chemotherapy drug has ever actually cured or resolved the underlying causes of cancer. Even what mainstream medicine considers successful chemotherapy treatments are only managing symptoms, usually at the cost of interfering with other precious physiological functions in patients that will cause side effects down the road. And of course, anyone who knows anyone who's had chemotherapy knows it just kills people. It fries their bodies and their brains straight up. The second success story. Stan is not alone. Dear Stan, I wonder why you ain't calling. I left my home, my cell, and my pager at the bottom. And bear with me a moment. The second success story. Stan is not alone. When the 3-year-old Landon Riddle was diagnosed with leukemia, doctors gave him only 48 hours to live. After Landon's grandmother suggested that they look into cannabis oil treatment, the family flew to Colorado where cannabis oil treatment was legal. In just days, Landon's cancer was in remission. Sierra Riddle, Landon's mother, says, it is atrocious that anyone on the planet would be charged for choosing cannabis over pharmaceuticals. Having a sick child is a battle in itself, but making this choice is a whole new world. You're going to need thick skin, intuition, and a solid team. Don't waste time making sure every other pharmaceutical does more harm than good. If it feels wrong in your gut, it's probably wrong. And of course, we have to stand up for these people all over the world because the government wants you sick, they want you weak, they want you dead. But no, us revolutionary warriors are growing stronger by the second. Thank you so much for tuning into this special YouTube broadcast after they banned me from Facebook for 24 hours. And Retro Rocker, great to see you, my brother. Revolutionary Warrior 815, much love to you. He says, starting something new, General. Yeah, like I was saying, brother, during my second live stream last night, just after midnight, my Facebook just shut down, logged me out. Then it said, oh, you posted something against our guidelines. You're banned for 24 hours. You can't post, can't message. And if you do it again, probably going to take your account down. So thank you all for all of your love and support across all of these platforms. Man, we have to defeat this evil system together. Sleepy McCush said, I choose cannabis over pharmaceuticals. Drugs are bad and cannabis is good. Cannabis saves lives while pharmaceuticals take people's lives. I couldn't have said it better myself, Sergeant Sleepy McCush. Thank you all so much for all of your support. I'm going to get some other revolutionary work done right now, and I might be back about 1 a.m. Sydney time, back on Facebook with a live stream again. If not, I'll be back tomorrow. Thank you all so much for all of your love and support, and please let everybody know what's happening on YouTube and that I will be back very soon. I love each and every single one of you. I am Revolutionary Warrior number 1, General of the Save the World Army, Smokin Joe Mekhael, and together we are beating the Illuminati, breaking the New World Order, bringing down the world government and saving the world from evil. My brothers and sisters, have no fear. The revolution is here, and we will be victorious. Ooh, yeah.